This is a place where beauty and danger go hand in hand. A legendary river, raging water all around. A boat and paddle, your only salvation. This is Whitewater Kayaking.
Find yourself upside down in this container with your legs trapped in there, so to speak, and your mind can play games with you.
Just keep it together. A few more days. I'm just losing myself in the river right now. I'm losing myself in the river.
I've trained a week to get in these waters. Now it's time to find out if I can get myself out. When you grow up in Louisiana, dreaming of climbing a mountain is like dreaming of going to the moon. I had fun as a kid, playing baseball, vacationing with the family, and riding my bike. But I craved something more. I just didn't know what. I finally got a taste of adventure at 18 when I scaled Africa's tallest peak, Mount Kilimanjaro. This was what I'd been looking for. As a mountaineer, I've conquered the 7 summits, including Mount Everest, a few times. But now I'm looking for new ways to activate. So join me as I travel the globe, attempting the wildest and most intense challenges imaginable, all in the name of adventure. I am Joby Ogwyn. I am the Adventurist.
Way bigger than it looked from the helicopter yesterday. I don't know if I'm gonna have more than one shot at it. I'm gonna put my heart into it and just do everything I can. That's all I can do. Here we go.
Welcome to South America, home to some of the most beautiful and dangerous landscapes in the world. I'm flying here in search of my ultimate destination, Patagonia. The mountains of Patagonia are world famous. Taking a stab at climbing some of these peaks, though, will have to wait. On this trip, it's another aspect of the region that I've come for: the powerful waters of the Futalefu River. Futa, as it's known, winds through the Andean corridor of northern Patagonia like a ribbon of turquoise, with a mesmerizing blend of power and beauty. And this power and beauty is now calling out to me. My mission: learn to kayak, then conquer the Himalaya, a deadly Class 4 whitewater rapid in just 1 week. After nearly 20 hours of flying due south, I finally touched down on the southern tip of Chile, home to some of the most amazing and dangerous whitewater in the world. And for half the year, it's also home to this guy, Chris Spelius.
Chris, Joby Ogwyn.
Chris, it's good to meet you. Welcome to Patagonia.
Oh, thanks. Thanks so much.
What do you think of
Hopefully,
that flight?
he is going to teach me all I need to know to not only run the rapid, but to stay alive. Paddler Magazine says Chris is a legend. Several national championships, competing in the Olympics. And more to the point, he headed to South America in 1980 and pioneered kayaking in the Futa River in 1986. He's never left. Trying to go from 0 to Class 4 in a week is going to be tough, but I'm more than lucky that this is the guy I'm counting on to get me out of here in one piece. Chris starts with gear and paddling technique, but the most important technique I'll learn is called the Eskimo roll. If my kayak flips over, it can save my life.
This wrist back, this wrist back. Okay, this will help. Try to go through these mistakes that everyone makes. It's way worse, actually. Okay, that's in there tight. Okay, let's try it on the other side.
The Eskimo roll is how you upright a capsized kayak by twisting your body and pushing off with your paddle. This will hopefully get you back up to the surface so you don't drown. It's the single most important thing I'll need to learn if I have any chance of accomplishing my goal on the Futa. I know how important this roll is, so I'm going to do it again and again, into the night until I get it right. Chris has given me the base and all the technique. Now it's up to me to work my ass off in here, so I'm ready when I get in the water tomorrow and on the river later this week.
If you're rolling over and you're under the water, and I'm under the water here, you gotta to do that, to get in close, just to get to that right position, you have to suck all the way in and really use your abs. And then you're coming out, and that's putting your hips out here, so it's giving yourself a chance to get way up out of the water. Then you're here, rolling into it and twisting your body. And if you do that with some force, the tip actually just kind of spins out and goes this way. On the floor, it just spins in one direction, but I see now that by doing that, it spins you kind of up and out of the water. And it works. It works like a charm. It's just a matter of kind of doing it in the water.
Early morning, and it's time to activate, this time in the water.
Today, I'm going to try to more or less perfect the roll, if not in actuality, at least in my mind of what I have to do. But hopefully, I'll get lucky and really latch onto it pretty quick. In my mind, and when I've just been practicing on the hardwood floors, I seem to feel like I've got the mechanics of what it's going to take for me to pop back up out of the water. But this is going to be the true test, and this is really the key to everything that I'm going to do from the very beginning. If I can't do this, I really can't go further. I can't get into the river unless I can get myself out of a bind every time I roll over in the water. So this is the key, and this is the test, and I'm going to work my ass off on it this morning.
For me, this really is ground zero in the learning process. I spent yesterday practicing on the floor in a lodge, but I've never been in a kayak on the water before. This should be interesting.
Brace your legs up against there, your feet. Do they feel okay?
Yeah.
We could bring them back a little bit if you want.
No, it's okay.
Okay, today's test to see if he can control what he's supposed to do over his intuition right here in this pool, because if he can get this roll down, we can move on. If he can't get this roll down, we're gonna have to spend some more time here and reconsider the schedule. I mean, this is ambitious. 1 week to the Futalefu is ambitious, and I think it can be done, but today we'll find out. What we're asking him to do isn't difficult, but you find yourself upside down in this container with your legs trapped in there, so to speak, and your mind can play games with you.
it's a little bit frustrating because it's so simple in so many ways. And when you watch somebody like Chris do it, it looks really easy. But it's not so easy as it looks. But I think once you get it, I don't think it's just like riding a bike necessarily for somebody like me starting off, but it's, you know, I'll get it. And I think it's just a matter of time.
Ready?
Ready.
This could be it. Ready? Go. You did it. I didn't help you.
Wow, if we got him doing it this well, after 3 days, I would have been psyched. We've basically done this in 6 hours. So we are on track. So the sky's the limit. I know people think you're getting a guy on the Futalefu in class 4 or 5 rapids in 1 week sounds absurd. Sounds crazed. But with the kind of progress and the determination he has, you know, he runs into the same problem everyone else does. But, you know, with the extra determination he has to be able to go at it like that, in this warm water, you know, he's styling.
Step 1 is a success. Now it's off to the Futalefu. Next step is the Futa itself. It's roughly a 4-hour drive for me, Chris, and the EX Chile crew. I'm seriously spent from my day rolling in the hot spring, but the views on the ride are just too good to pass up. Fed by glacial lakes, the Futa runs more than 31 miles from its origins in Argentina to Chile's Lago Yelcho, all the while carving a spectacular valley that is known by some as the Grand Canyon of South America. In fact, locals refer to the region as Futalefu, un paisaje pintado por Dios, meaning simply a landscape painted by God. To me, it's beauty and a beast.
Look at that water. Boy, you were right about that. Crystal clear blue water. Ah. Fantastic. Fantastic. It's like you see it and you go, I gotta get down there. I gotta get down there. It's just a desire you have. I'm starting to feel it myself now. Oh, I'm excited. I'm really excited. Specific sections of rivers are broken up into classes that note their difficulty and danger. Class 1 has little to no waves, few obstacles with little maneuvering needed. In other words, Class 1 is easy. Class 2 has what are considered to be easy rapids, eddies, which are pools of stagnant water that border the flow of the river and bends with some maneuvering needed. Basic paddling skills will help here in Class 2. Class 3, now we get going. There's numerous and larger waves in Class 3 rapids, narrow passages where skilled maneuvering is needed. Here you should have some pretty advanced experience or you could get into trouble. Class 4, difficult rapids.
big, scary waves. In Class 4 water, precise maneuvering is needed. The danger level, high, very high. To even think about getting in here, you should be an advanced to expert kayaker. And finally, Class 5. Long, strong rapids, wild turbulence. You'll need the skills and experience to do complex maneuvers. The danger level here is nearly off the charts. Needless to say, in Class 5 water, there's a significant hazard to human life. This is for experts only. What Chris has in store for me today is really to take what I learned in the hot spring and transfer it to flowing water.
And what we're going to work on today is maneuverability and being mobile in the water and really learning how the water moves and how to negotiate the rivers step by step. Start with the still water and hopefully in a week end up in some big heavy-duty whitewater waves and rapids.
I'm not even allowed on the Futa River yet. This is the Espelon, the Futa's little sister, which is less intense than its big sister and a better place to get acclimated to the water. To start off, we'll be practicing some paddle strokes and doing a few rolls that aren't in the comfort of the hot spring.
Both sides. All right, we can tune those up a little bit.
Next step, my first big test. We head out into some moving water in a Class 2 section of the Espelon. Eddy lines are the points in the river where two opposing currents meet. They're tricky because it's the currents that are moving you along. If a current is taking you in one direction, and then a second later there is a current taking you in an entirely different direction, there's a good chance that you're going to flip. Eddy lines are a constant in the river, and it'll be important for me to get this down.
Paddle hard, paddle hard. Dig, dig. Yes, paddle back in. Paddle back in. You got it.
Okay, first real flip, and I came out all right. I think it'll be a feel thing to get this. The boat is tough to get used to in the rushing water, and when a current all of a sudden pulls you in another direction, bam, you're under before you know it. All right, here we go again. I need to get this down before we move on to anything stronger.
A little more at 11. That's it. That's 11. Keep it going. Joby, step 2. Done. Nothing's impossible if you keep progressing like that. Joby did fine, rolled twice, but the next step is a really big step. That's like going for a day 4, day 5 experience on day 2 of his kayaking deal. Some powerful currents. How are you relaxed on that? It's going to be very interesting, and will determine, how far we can go and how far I can push him the next couple days. Out there are perfect standing waves. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yep.
Boy, what more can you ask for except for these eddies in between them, another perfect eddy over there, and another perfect eddy here. This rapid has it all. I mean, this is your training ground. This is the perfect classroom right now. Let's go give it a go.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Class 3 water. It moves a bit faster, the water is a little wider, and the sound, well, it's definitely a little more intimidating. We're going to give it a try and shoot down this rapid. It's nothing to Chris and his safety crew, but I look at it as my first big test. My confidence is good though. I'm starting to get a feel for the boat underneath me, and I'm ready to give it a go and see what happens. That was great, but rapid runs like this are only part of what we came here for. Being able to maneuver in this type of water is essential if I'm going to get to Class 4, and that's the real reason we're here, to be able to travel back and forth through these waves. So far, so good, but I'm afraid it's more luck than skill. Soon enough, my lack of experience starts to show, and the river gets its revenge.
Watch where I go. I'm gonna protect my angle and ferry across all the way up to here. Paddle hard, paddle hard. Paddle over here, paddle hard. Uh-oh.
I thought I was ready to move on. Truth is, I'm not even close.
To the surface.
This water is nothing compared to what I'm shooting for.
You okay?
Yeah.
Got caught without breath?
Yeah. I waited. Just when you feel like you're making progress, you blow it like that. I don't know if I'm close or a million miles away. There's a part of me that felt like I almost had it. But these waves are so small that I'm dealing with, and what I'm trying to do is so huge. Right now, I'm worried that what I'm trying to do is something that just takes time and experience more than anything. And it's going to be a pretty massive uphill battle for me. I have doubts about this mission right now. Heavy duty doubts.
First day on the river. I felt like I had a good start, not so necessarily strong as finish as I would like to have.
I knew you were going to go over in that. I couldn't imagine someone as good as you're doing up to this point. I knew you were going to go over, and I knew it'd be good in the long run because you went over fast and you had some problems.
Okay.
I need you to have the faith.
Oh, I do.
Then I'm excited about what I saw there. I've seen your face discouraged in the pool also, and you just stuck with it and got it.
Well, good. I'm glad you're pleased and
Yeah.
with your student.
So
and
we'll head right back there.
Yeah, I'm ready to get out there.
And we'll find out what happens.
My words are saying one thing, but my heart another. Spending this much time in the water is more taxing than I thought. And no matter what I tell Chris, I still have my doubts about pulling this off. To get over this, I'm going to have to get right back on the horse that just threw me.
Today is a real key day for me because I really, really want to make this work and kind of get over that last hurdle. In general, I don't like to try to skip anything. I don't want to go to a different spot. I want to go right back to the place that I had problems and overcome it right there. In my mind, if I can't get past that, I'm stay right there until I get the job done. I don't care how long that it takes me. If I'm there for 5 minutes or 5 hours, it's got to get done right there in that same spot. It was a big kind of a point of frustration for me yesterday, and I hope today that it's going to be a point of success and a launching pad right on into the next thing and bigger rapids and bigger action.
Today's schedule looks like it'll be the toughest yet. Non-stop training in the waves and rapids. Then out onto the Futa for one more big test before we head to Class 4.
Still moving to the left. It's still moving to the left. Still moving to the left. Then I let it go.
Bounced around pretty good and feel like I've pushed myself about as far as I can go. But the true test is yet to come. And if I've struggled this much so far, how will I do when, or even if I get to the big stuff? The McCall section will be my first Class 3 rapid on the big river. And my last chance to work on my skills before we go for the big finish on Class 4. But right now, Class 4 seems hard to imagine, if not impossible. And I don't think I'm the only one who feels this way.
You know, if we didn't have these outrageous objectives, I'd say that'd be good enough for today. But we've got objectives.
Yeah.
You know, we just got to keep this positive.
Yeah.
So, you know, if I see him looking tippy, I may blow off all the eddies except for the last one before shipwreck. Yeah. Yeah, just depending how he looks.
Yeah.
It's just been training so hard. Mentally, I feel like my head's like a big jug of milk, just kind of going back and forth. I tilt one way and I can feel it sweep back and forth. Sometimes he'll say stuff and I just don't even hear what he's saying. He'll tell me to go to the other side of the river and I'll stop in the middle behind some eddy. Oh, is that not what I was supposed to do? He's just kind of all moving around me. I feel like the river's with me even when I'm sleeping at night now. But I'm feeling much more confident in what I'm doing, and I'm getting better. My technique is better, and I feel the boat underneath me way more today than ever. I'm more tired today, but I'm also feeling it more today, which is great. So I feel good. I'm putting so much into my heart. I'm training so hard and put so much into it that just keep it together. A few more days. I'm just losing myself in the river right now. I'm losing myself in the river.
I gotta get unlost fast. The McCall is not going to let up because I'm having a bad day. The guys said that there would be two big tests. First, where the rapids really kick in right before a sharp bend in the river to the left. If I get through there, it'll be on to the closing rapid, which is a churning section at the end of the McCall. The safety crew goes up ahead in case I go for a swim. Paddling talk for ejecting from the kayak. Swimming in this water is definitely not recommended and could even be fatal. Chris will go through first to show me the line. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll come through on the other side.
Go left! Go left! Hang on to my boat. Hang on to my boat. Right here. Wow, Joby just was a little offline of where I was, a little to the left, and there was a diagonal coming in there. So he was trying to follow me, but he hit that diagonal from the side, and it stood his boat on its rear. I looked back there and I was, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. You're just 2 or 3 feet offline. He tried to roll, missed it as he was going through the wave, and came out of his boat. Made a pretty quick rescue. But now we're right above the hardest rapid of this stretch. You can see the gorge here. He's feeling the excitement, I think, of being on real water, real action. He's not bummed right now. He's fairly excited.
So I didn't make it through the first section, but the strange feeling is that I'm feeling about as pumped as I have since getting down here. I felt the power of the Futa, and even though I didn't exactly ace the test, I'm going back in, ready to take another shot and finish the McCall in a big way.
What a feeling. I can't think of anything I've ever done that moves that fast, has that much action, is so, water's so cold. You don't even feel it though. It's so invigorating. I was so tired earlier today. My muscles were aching and hurting. But as soon as I hit that whitewater, all my focus, all my concentration on what I was doing took over completely. I didn't feel any pain, quite nothing. I'm very, very happy and very, very tired.
Kayakers routinely scout Class 4 and 5 rapids before attempting them. When the rapids get this big and this dangerous, it's simply a matter of survival. The rapid that Chris has decided will be my ultimate test is called the Himalaya. Kind of funny considering my mountain climbing background, but it's no joke. The Himalaya has the biggest waves on the Futa and is so remote in terms of access that a heli scout is really the only practical way of getting to the rapid.
This is a big rapid, rugged rapid. This is iconic. Look at all that stuff in there.
Wow, that is big.
You see that
It's
right
very
there?
defined, yeah. Congratulations.
It's big, there's no doubt about it. But looking at the Himalaya from the air, I also know that I'm not getting a true understanding of what's in store for me down there. Experience tells me that there's nothing like being in the fire. In this case, being in the water, about to push off into the biggest and baddest waves on the Futa. We'll see, because ready or not, the time is just about here.
Himalaya is a huge rapid on the Terminator section of the river, which is one of the scariest sections of the river.
For Joby's sake, we'll all hope that they're just big standing waves as he goes through, because when they start crashing, that's going to be a huge problem, I guess, for him.
The consequences if he swims there will be get like sucked down and be underwater for a long time.
He's never seen this type of stuff before, so I think he's gonna flip over, might try to bust out a couple rolls. If not, I hope he's there with the T rescue, the Eskimo rescue, because Futalefu is a place you don't want to be swimming.
Beauty and the Beast. I've seen them both here in my 5 days. Who will I see today? I've been through so much in such a short amount of time. When I first saw the river, it's so beautiful I couldn't wait to get on it. But since then, it's been as big a roller coaster as any of the rapids on this river. It's just been hard. The hardest thing I think I've ever done. I'm telling you, I've done some really out there things in my life, but I always had the feeling deep down that I could pull it off. Today, I honestly don't know if I can.
The river has an energy of its own and a power of its own, and to become one with the boat on the river was very, very difficult for me. No matter what today, no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome, if I don't make it today, it's sure as hell not be because I didn't try and put everything I had into it. I have to say that this is probably the thing I put more into than anything in the world.
Beauty and the Beast. Who will I see today?
This is it.
Final action. Got to put it all together today.
A real dream game for a kayak instructor. You get to really prove the results of your work out there with the big rapids, the real deal, a willing student, and documentation. This ought to be fun. Yes, good technique. Very good. Oh yeah, textbook. Okay, I want to see textbook both sides. Very good. Other side roll now. There you go.
Heading down to the Himalaya, Chris wants me to get warm, but not blow myself out. It's a fine line. My shoulder has been bothering me all week from the constant rolling in the water. And sure enough, a roll in Class 3 almost ends my day before we even get to the big stuff.
Joby flipped in a whirlpool line, and he attempted a roll, but as he did it, he popped his shoulder. I had to give him a T-rescue, and as he came up, he was in quite a bit of pain. Right now, that means he only has the one side to roll on, because if he tries to roll on his with his left arm, then it's going to be extremely painful. He's probably not going to be able to do it, and he does stand the chance of dislocating his shoulder, which is going to add some difficulty if he gets into a situation where it would be more beneficial for him to be on the opposite side. He still only has that one side, so he's just going to have to hammer away at that particular side, and hopefully comes up if he flips in Himalayas.
I'll play it safe from here. If it's not this calm stuff, I'll take a cataract ride with Bob. I'm spent anyway. Any practice or warm-up will be useless. I'm exhausted, mentally and physically. Going into today, I thought I'd make multiple runs at the Himalaya until I make it through. Now I know that's not an option. I'll be lucky to have enough energy to make one good run, so I better make it count. No amount of diagrams, pictures, video, not even a heli flyover scout like we did could prepare me for this. This thing is for real. 100,000 gallons or more of water ripping through here every second, hitting tectonic plates and underwater boulders, causing massive waves, ripping currents, and boiling water. This is the Class 4 rapid they call the Himalaya. This is my adventure.
Oh man, it's just huge. It looks like there's a bomb going off under the water.
I call them explosion waves.
Yeah, it looks like somebody's throwing sticks of dynamite off from the side.
You're right.
Wow.
If I had any doubts before, trust me when I say that I'm having them now. I've been in awe of many things in my adventures, but this, awe and intimidation are two different things, and right now, I'm not in awe. I'm intimidated.
Way, 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 way bigger than it looked from the helicopter yesterday. You know, when you're hovering above something, you just see it from a whole different angle. When you're down here on the water level, it's a whole different deal. I'll do the best I can. My shoulder's is pretty much torn up, I think, from that, doing so many rolls, and then I popped it pretty good this morning practicing, so I don't know if I'm gonna have more than one shot at it. I'm gonna put my heart into it and just do everything I can. That's all I can do.
Focus. It's time to focus. Chris, Bob, Fergus, all of them. They did all they could to get me ready for this moment. Now it's up to me.
I'm ready for action, whatever that action is. Win, lose, or draw. Whatever I've got left in me, whatever I've got, it all is going into this right here. One shot, one time. The big dance. Here we go. That's the most unbelievable thing I've ever done in my life. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, man.
Oh, that made my week, I'll tell you that.
It made my life.
Yeah,
my
good
friend.
job.
Made my life. It seemed like it lasted an hour. I don't know how long I was in there, maybe 30 seconds throughout the whole thing. But I can see why they call it Himalayas, because as you come up that wave, it's just a white mass that's just coming towards you. It just hits you with a lot of force, and then you're trying as hard as you can to shake it off so you can see. But as soon as I made it through that last wave, I could see Chris out there. That's one of the most happiest moments of my life, was just to be able to see my coach, my mentor, my friend out there at the end, and know that I had put it all together at the end. Even when it went wrong, I got out of it and I made it through. And you said something to me that I'll never forget. You said, if you do it, it'll be heroic. And I feel like the biggest superhero in the world right now, man. Ah! Yes!